Over the weekend, Donald Trump's former Defense Secretary Mark Esper appeared on 60 Minutes, and he described what he called the four no's that his cabinet position came up with for the Trump administration, basically between some point prior to the 2020 election. The four no's, of course, were no strategic retreats, no unnecessary wars, no politicization of the military, and no misuse of the military in the run-up to the 2020 election, right? That all seems basically straightforward. No real horrible information there. It wasn't a horrid revelation that Trump did something wrong. It was just like, hey, prior to the election, in the months before that, we were like, listen, you don't do these four things because those are going to hurt you in the campaign. That's what he said on 60 Minutes on Sunday. So yesterday, Monday, Steve Bannon, having watched Mark Esper on 60 Minutes, comes out and accuses Esper of treason. Of treason. Here's what Bannon said. Esper lays out the coup and he lays out the guilt of he and General Mark Milley, and we're going to have an investigation of this, sir. I hope and I believe you will go to prison because you belong in prison. This is what coup plotters do. You're guilty of treason. You're guilty of treason in your own words. Show me anywhere you had authority to do this. To do what? To advise the president? Literally his job, bucko. That's his job, to advise the president on issues of defense and security. Steve, you've been in politics long enough. I would think that you would know that. Show me anywhere where you can do this. How about the job description itself, you idiot? That's not treason. That's literally going to work every day. And if you're trying to talk about all of the other revelations that Esper has come out with, again, none of it's treason. None of it's even illegal, by the way. Esper did, in fact, work with the Department of Justice, with the intelligence agencies to make sure, as former officials often have to do, that nothing he reveals in his book was classified information. They go through these things. They tell people, former administration officials, for any administration, they tell them what they can and cannot say in their books. If they have a passage that they want removed, they remove it. And there's very little that the author, the former cabinet official, can do in that particular instance. And nothing that Esper has exposed in this book that is out today, if anybody's interested, I advise against it, but whatever. Nothing that he's revealed amounts to the level of treason, right? All he tells us that he did was tell Donald Trump, no, that's a bad idea on several occasions. He never stood up to the president and said, no, I will not allow you to do this. I will take you down if this is the path you choose to go. I will directly disobey in order from the commander-in-chief. That's not a thing that happens, Steve. But of course, your audience doesn't know that. They don't understand that. So you can go out there, scream about treason all you want, and your rabid audience is going to believe that Mark Esper is, of course, somehow guilty of treason, even though nothing that he has described comes anywhere close to being described as treason by a rational thinking, normal human being, which of course is why Steve Bannon does think that it's treason.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.